What's up, everyone? It's your boy Scott. Welcome to the Scott Reports. Today I'm bringing you a manga review of the Promised Neverland Chapter 72. Big things revealed in this chapter as always, and that never gets old, that never gets repetitive, that never gets tiresome with the Promised Neverland, which makes it so great. And it's leading me to a theory that I initially thought, but then again, once I start to think about it, and by the end of the chapter, I'm actually contradicting myself too, and I don't think it could be true. But at the same time, we get the script twisted so much on us with Promised Neverland that it could still be true. But hold on, hear me out before you make your own decision. And again, I don't know how far-fetched this could be, but it could be on the right path. You don't know. So my theory is this Marvin's room, this child by the name of Marvin, which is going to be the next breadcrumb that we're going to go on. William Minerva says that the answers to how to get to the next destination is in Marvin's room. And I think that Marvin is Mr. No Name. And the reason for that is because it has to be some reason why we have not found out the name of this man in so many chapters. Also, the story of Marvin, Marvin's Nest is where these kids need to go. And Emma pointed out that this is another thing from the book of Ugo and the Lemur. And Marvin's Nest is somewhere that he'd like to sleep. And she points to this drawer that they're in right where this phone is conveniently. And she was like, aha, that's it. The answers is in there. We know it's not going to be that easy. Whatever it is, it's not going to be what they're looking for. It might just be a path to somewhere else. But there has to be some type of importance. Now that we have another name and we don't know who it attached to, that Mr. No Name is Marvin. But the reason why I feel that's not true now is because Goldy Pond is already in the state that they're in. See, what we get in this chapter, we find out that the person behind the phone was William Minerva, but it was a recording. Because come on now, we're not gonna find this man this early in the chapter. We're not. And this recording came from 2031. We still don't know how much time has passed. And if we did, I forgot, and I'm sorry about that. But it was one of those things where it's saying, if you're hearing this recording right now, I'm probably dead. So who knows how long ago this has been. And this man, who I refuse to acknowledge as the real William Minerva until we prove otherwise, says that he was betrayed. And someone, either human or demon, someone that he trusted betrayed him. And because of that betrayal, the elevator that they're in is broken. And that truly would have took them to the human side. And because of that, they were either found out or so much time has passed that Goldy Pond has become the place that it is now. And the reason why I kind of feel that Marvin isn't Mr. No Name is because they got to this destination when Goldy Pond was already at the place it was. Unless the betrayal was that quick that when they got there, they had hope that they was getting to a place that was going to be safe for them, and it was already in shambles from the jump because it was a betrayal after all. So maybe this person led these kids down a path that they wasn't supposed to get there, and that's how we got to the murder place in Goldy Pond that we have now. But also, and maybe it was just a misstep, or maybe they're doing this on purpose, you would think that as soon as the name Marvin was mentioned, you would have thought Lucas would have said something, or he would have noticed it. Unless Marvin is another alias and Mr. No Name has another name, because the little fox in the story, he kind of looked like he had the hair of Mr. No Name as well, like the black hair with the white streaks. Like, it's a lot of reasons why I feel I'm not crazy in thinking that Marvin is Mr. No Name, but at the same time, some things don't add up too. But that was just the beginning of this chapter, and there's a lot more things to get into. As William Minerva, you know, he bared the bad news that he was betrayed. The elevator no longer works for them to escape. But he also says that he is a descendant of the people who made the initial promise, which was 1,000 years ago. And all of this time, you know, the promise had been kept and kept and kept, and all of the kids has just been fodder, and they've been fed all this time. And he just had enough of it and wanted to do something about it. So he took up an alias of William Minerva, and he started laying the breadcrumbs, and he started putting the Morse code in the book for kids to actually find. So those that are brave and bright enough can actually find the actual escape. But he didn't want to get his hands dirty himself per se. He must have been in a position where he couldn't reveal who he was, so he made this alias. As he says, the clan of people that he belonged to, they were still part of, you know, the promise and what is going on. So he couldn't risk revealing himself, but he couldn't sit at the wayside and let everything happen that's happening to these kids. And he says that his real name was James Rattari. So that's very interesting, because now we're going on another path, because another big reveal that he says is that the 4 elite houses, including Grace Field, has a true escape path out. So this could very well lead us way back to where we need to go, because Emma still wants to go back and save Phil and everyone else. But also the other 3 elite houses has a true means to escape, and people sympathetic to the cause that will help anybody that wants to escape from what's going on. But the thing about that is, we don't know how much time has passed, so it could very well be just like Goldy Pond, where these paths that were supposed to be not locked up or broke down in the other field houses, they could be gone, they could be found out too. You don't know what type of danger we're going in with this story. But things are getting big, because he gave Emma and Lucas, or whoever got there and listened to his message, you basically have 3 options. You have number 1, you can try to find these places and escape and go hide out somewhere. You can, number 2, start an all-out freaking war, which I still think is going to be the part of the series, and fight back. Or there's a third choice, which was the 7 walls. If you remember, that is what Musica mentioned. There's another path called the 7 walls that these kids have to find. Now, what does this third choice entail? I don't know, but it looks like that's going to be the path that we're going to next. But hearing this message gave Lucas more faith, as he has almost lost hope, but now he knows that it is somebody out there. Again, I think that is a little bit too easy. We still got Lewis on our tail to take care of. We still got Ray and Mr. No Name out there fighting for their lives. We still got to get the confrontation and the meeting of all these people coming together again, and we just know it's not going to be that easy. If anything, in this drawer is probably going to be another letter or a pen or something that's going to take us to the next path. But I'm going to be interested in knowing where we head next. It's a little bit too early to be going out of Goldy Pond. I think it's well timed that we go face to face with a demon and get a loss, and that's why I think Lewis was introduced as a big bad. He's probably going to be around for a while, or maybe this will be the first demonized villain that we've seen, because we already in a way kind of seen Crone and we seen Mama, but we found out that they're not the way that they're supposed to be. And then there's still a Papa out there, I believe. You know, I think there's Papas out there too. Perhaps this James Rattari, maybe he is a Papa, which is why it was so important for him to keep his identity under wraps. And you know, Crone got that pen from somewhere. Everybody has a theory that she actually did get that pen, whether inadvertently or not, from the true William Minerva. Could still be out there, could be dead. Maybe he has a child or something. There's a theory that even Norman may be a clone of William Minerva or a kid or something. We don't know, and the fun is finding out with the Promised Neverland. But definitely let me know what you thought of this chapter in the comments below, and let me know what you thought of my theories. Do you think it's far-fetched that Mr. No Name is actually his Marvin that we speak of, and we need to find his old quarters and get to his room in order to find the secrets to the path to escape? Or is the evidence that we got in this chapter and the things that were said by James Rattari, aka the alias William Minerva, did it just poke holes in the theories that it could be Mr. No Name? Me personally, again, because I know how this story likes to twist things around, I think he is Marvin. I think he is his Marvin that we speak of, and that is why his name has been so in secret and such a mystery right now. It has to have some type of importance of why we don't know this man's name yet, and I think this is the reason why, that for at the very least we found out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, guys. If you liked the video, go ahead and drop it a like, and if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as there's not a shortage of content you guys indulge on this channel. And if I'm right about this theory, I'm starting a damn hashtag that Scott was right, and you heard it here first. So, as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me, and I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.